So it's to really freestyle right now. Freestyle.
Ngaramutse. Ngaramutse. Ngaramutse.
3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, Introducing our hosts tonight. She is an influencer, an advocate of women entrepreneurs.
Mic check 1 2 mwaramutse igitondo cyiza mic check 1 2 igitondo cyiza karibu mu kanya turaba dutangiye igitondo cyiza mwicare mugubwe neza.
Hello. Mic check. Mic check. Good morning, everyone. Thank you.
is an influencer, an advocate of women entrepreneurs' growth and empowerment. With 10 years experience in communication management, and now, introducing our hosts tonight. She is an influencer, an advocate of women entrepreneurs' growth and empowerment. With 10 years experience in communication management, she has also been an anchor on the national television and a popular writer at the New Times. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Diana Mpisi.
I believe we are also supposed to introduce my co-host. I will call her onto the stage as we also give her a warm welcome. Sandrine, welcome to the stage, Sandrine, as you come and co-host with me.
And our co-host tonight is a renowned journalist at the top radio station in Rwanda. 14 years of professional experience in journalism and media, conducted and moderated corporate events such as the Quit Izina ceremony and the Rwanda Tourism Awards Gala, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the talented and gorgeous Sandrine Isheja.
Thank you very much. Honorable ministers, CEOs present and captains of industry, governors of central banks, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is a very important occasion, a historic occasion in the finance and banking industry in Rwanda, as seen with the merger and the launch, which we're here to celebrate today morning, of BPR Bank Rwanda. I am happy to be here. It is an honor to be your co-host for today. Exciting plans in terms of what we're going to hear from what this merger means for customers and operations for the bank, its clients and operations in and out of Rwanda. Waheshimiwa umetoka Kenya, asanteni sana na karibu Rwanda. Really looking forward to what we have in terms of unrolling what we have planned for you today. Over to you, Sandrine.
Urakoze cyane Diana, mwaramutse nanone. Na akakawa ntikarabageraho ko twumva rwose amajwi tutayumva, mwaramutse nanone. Igitondo cyiza cyane, uyu ni umunsi w'umunezero, ni umunsi w'ibyishimo, aho ababiri babaye umwe, aho imiryango ibiri minini migari ibaye umuryango umwe. Banyacyubahiro mwese rero muteraniye hano, ni umunezero kubana namwe, tubahaye ikaze. Mu kanya tugiye kubona byinshi byiza duteguriwe, aho twishimira kuba iyo miryango yabaye umwe. N'urugendo rwatangiye umwaka ushize muri 2021, ubwo KCB Group yaguraga imigabane ya BPR, kuri ubu ngubu akaba ari nayo munyamugabane munini. Hanyuma rero nyuma yuko banki nkuru y'igihugu babyizeho bakabona yuko ibisabwa byose byuzuye, babihaye umugisha. Kuri ubu ngubu KCB Bank na BPR byabaye umuryango umwe. Ubwo rero nicyo cyaduhurije hano, ni umunsi w'umunezero, twishime tunezerwe. Kubw'ibyo nk'uko ari ibisanzwe mu muco wacu, reka dukwakira abadususurutsa badufashe kwinjira mu munsi wacu. Neptune's Band, umwanya ni uwanyu, mudufashe kwakira abashyitsi.
This morning for your happiness and for your love. I've given my last breath from these moments on. I give my hand to you with all my heart. I can't wait to live my life secreto não macisa. Não macisa. Thank you.
Murakoze cyane Neptune's Band kandi muracyahari rwose turakomezanya mu kanya. Nizere yuko mwaryohewe mwese abari hano nkuko twabibabwiye hari byinshi byiza muteguriwe muri iki gitondo. Hari udushya twinshi mwitegure mu kanya muratangira kubibona mwebwe amaso araba.
Thank you very much. Like my colleague Sandrine said, we are coming to an exciting part of the program. And before I start introducing this segment, I would just like to see by a show of hands, how many before this merger were KCB Bank customers? How many? Okay. All right, that's much better. How many were before the merger Banque Populaire du Rwanda customers? Great. So today, what this means is this merger has fantastic new opportunities for clients. As Sandrine said, the merger of both banks to now form BPR Bank Rwanda, improved customers in terms of customer service, as well as options in terms of financial services and products, including what we are going to present right now. My story started with Banque Populaire du Rwanda. It was my first bank account many moons ago when I was much younger. And I remember being excited having my first bank account. And I don't know how many of you remember this, but for every transaction, there was a small green leather-bound book. Does anyone remember this green book? Do you remember this book? For every transaction you had to make, you had to write down the amount, the date, and what we are seeing today is that we have unprecedented modern digital services, and we're going to present that today. We've come a long way since that small little green book, and we're excited to showcase what BPR Bank Rwanda has in store in terms of product and services that have come a long way from then. Sandrine, what's your story with this?
Diana, urakoze cyane gukomoza kuri ayo mateka ndetse no kuri service nziza izo banki zidufitiye. Ngiye by'umwihariko ndibuka nta n'igihe kinini gishize ubwo niteguraga kwibaruka ndi muri BPR serivisi nziza bampaye ntazibagirwa ya serivisi handi bakwitaho ukavuga uti ibi birenze banki ahubwo nubanza ari mu rugo nageze banyitayeho cyane iyo serivisi nziza rero igiye guhura n'ibindi byiza KCB Bank yari ifite ikoranabuhanga amashami atandukanye ni byinshi pe ariko hari na bimwe bishya bitari bihari tugiye gutangira kubona aka kanya.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. Very exciting. Are you ready for this moment? Are you ready? We are going to witness something that is new for the first time for the bank. And I'm really excited to showcase this.
We were two souls, one reigning from the east coast of Africa, and another at the heart of Africa, in the land of 1,000 hills and smiles. We cherished and shared same aspirations. We shared the same intellect and same values. Now, the two become one. A new journey of life begins today. Today, we give birth to a new future, a new baby. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the BPR Gold Credit Visa Card. The card that rewards you with a better way to transact from anywhere, anytime. Brought to you by BPR Bank.
cyane kumwakirana ubwo bwuzu urwo rukundo kugaragaza yuko rwose mubyishimiye n'ubwa mbere muri BPR iyi karita ibayeho n'ubwa mbere mu mateka muri BPR iyi karita ibayeho.
Thank you very much, Sandrine. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was the unveiling of the Gold Visa credit card. Unprecedented, as I said earlier on. What this means is that for the first time, customers can make digital transactions and payments across multiple platforms, not just ATM of the bank as it was previously, as well as making these digital payments in and out of Rwanda. So whether you're in Switzerland, whether you're in Nairobi, whether you're, you can now unprecedented have convenient banking. The banking experience has changed once and for all. Modern digital era, this is what the merger means. We are going to now distribute right here, right now, cards to our esteemed customers. I have a list of names that I will read. My colleague Sandrine also has a list of names that she will read. And I will start, if I could call on protocol, with the cards to be distributed to our esteemed guests.
Nkuko Diana yarabivuze, iyi karita n'ubwa mbere ibayeho, kandi noneho ufite iyi karita aho waba uri hose ku isi wabasha kubikuza, wabasha kubona amafaranga yawe aho waba uri hose ku isi. Aka kanya rero aya makarita agiye gutangwa, gusa mu rwego rwo kugira ngo ducunguze uburyo umwete, hari abantu nk'icumi bagiye kuyahabwa. Hanyuma nawe aho wicaye nuhaguruka hano ibi birori n'ibihumuza, unyarukire ku ishami rya BPR rikwegereye, iyi karita urayibona. Aka kanya reka Diana adufashe gusoma amazina y'abantu batanu, hanyuma turasoma n'abandi batanu, abantu 10 bagiye guhabwa aya makarita muri iki gitondo. Nawe ariko ikarita yawe irahari rwose, ntugire ikibazo, ikarita yawe irahari iragutegereje ku ishami rya BPR rikwegereye.
Thank you very much, Sandrine. Like we said, not only are the cards being distributed here just to our 10 esteemed guests. If you leave this room today, right now, go to your nearest BPR Bank branch and get your card. Debit, credit, all these Visa cards are available like they were not before. I will start with the first person, Madam Claire Kamanzi, CEO of Rwanda Development Board. If you could give her card.
Protocol iradufasha batangire badufashe gutanga aya makarita.
The next person who is here, a card for Mr. Jack Kayonga. If we could give him his card. Jack Kayonga.
Ngira ngo hari abari kudufasha kujya kwakira n'umushyitsi mukuru. Mukanya ndabona ahageze, turaje tumwakire. Aya makarita turaje dukomeze tuyatange. Ibyo byose hari n'abombo n'abahagurutse bagiye kudufasha kwakira umushyitsi mukuru, bagomba guhabwa aya makarita. Turaza kubigarukaho, amakarita yabo arabageraho. Nawe ikarita yawe iragutegereje rwose ku ishami rya BPR rikwegereye. Nkuko nari mbikubwiye, umushyitsi mukuru birasa nkaho ahageze. Mukanya turaje tumwakire. Ndabasaba mu byubahiro byanyu ngo nahagera twegere juru tumwakirane ubwuzu, dukomezanye ibirori. Ariko mu gihe tumutegereje, mu gihe tugiye kumwakira, Neptune's Band mwaba mudufasha. murakoze cyane Neptune's Band, murakoze cyane. Ejuru dufatanye kwakira nyakubahwa Minisitiri w'Intebe Dr. Edouard Ngirente mudufashe dufatanye kumwakira. Ikaze nyakubahwa Minisitiri w'Intebe.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You can take to your seats. Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente, for gracing this fantastic, momentous occasion with your presence. As we have been saying before, and we're going to hear more, what does this merger mean for customers and operations in Rwanda and out of Rwanda? We're going to be listening to esteemed guests who will shed more light on this. And once again, Prime Minister, it's an honor, and we're thankful to have you with us this morning.
Munyemerere twakire chairman wa board ya BPR Bank akaba ari nta wundi ni bwana George Rwagumya yegera imbere adufashe kwakira abashyitsi bacu n'umushyitsi mukuru.
Our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Rwanda, Dr. Edouard Ngirente, our Deputy Minister of Finance, Madam Claire Kamanzi, the CEO of Rwanda Development Board, the Honorable John Rwangombwa, the Governor of the Central Bank of Rwanda, Dr. Patrick Njoroge, the Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya, Mr. Andrew Kairu, the Group Chairman of the Board of Directors of KCB Group, Mr. Joshua Oigara, the Group CEO and the MD of KCB Group, KCB Group Board of Directors and BPR Bank Rwanda Board of Directors present, KCB Group Senior Management and BPR Bank Rwanda Management Team present, leaders of industry, leaders of government present, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are witnessing the birth of a new era. Many can say has been waited for in a long time. Today we are officially witnessing the birth of BPR Bank Rwanda Plc, a product of the merger of two banks, KCB Bank Rwanda and former Banque Populaire Bank Rwanda. We are honored to have our special guests from the government of the Republic of Rwanda, our regulators from Kenya and Rwanda, the private sector leaders, the local shareholders of BPR Bank Rwanda, who are the founders of Banque Populaire, the bank that has now become BPR Bank Rwanda, our customers, most especially. Being here with you for us is an honor and a privilege we cannot underestimate. On behalf of BPR Bank Rwanda, I take the opportunity to congratulate KCB Group leadership and the former leaders of Banque Populaire Rwanda who have brought this birth of a new bank, a very strong bank that has its own resources to count on and resources of the group in service of the leadership of the private sector, of its customers in the Republic of Rwanda. Rwanda as a country is rich in culture and resources. The people of Rwanda are looking to this bank to support our ambitious goals to drive the change and the transformation of our country and its economy into attaining the middle income status we have set for the short term, to the medium term, and ultimately achieving sustainable livelihood for everybody in Rwanda. At the top of our agenda as BPR Bank Rwanda is to create an environment for the former customers of Banque Populaire, KCB Bank Rwanda, who now have become this new bank, the customers of this new bank, to make sure that when they come to our facilities, they are received They are served with dignity and efficiency, and also to bring technology to extend our reach to all the corners of our republic. In the long run, we want to build a bank that becomes a true partner of the Republic of Rwanda, of the Rwandans, small business, small enterprises, and large enterprises in growing our economy and integrating into our region. The East African community is growing by leaps and bounds, so we hope our bank to be an enabler and a facilitator in this journey. In addition to providing financial solutions, we dream to create an ecosystem that will cater to all segments of our communities, providing the solutions that best fit their own needs within our capacity. Allow me to take this opportunity to invite our group, KCB Group CEO and MD, Mr. Oigara, to come and deliver his remarks. I thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome the chief guests, the Right Honorable Eduardo Engerete, the representative from the Deputy Minister for the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, Claire Kamanzi, who we've known each other for quite some time, the governors, John Rongombo, and the governor from Kenya, Dr. Patrick Njoroge, speaking to our chairman of the board who is here and the board members present, our KCB senior team, our customers, ladies and gentlemen. In many ways, an exciting day today. The Right Honorable Prime Minister, when the world had difficulties during COVID, we looked into Rwanda and say, we need to scale our business operations in this market. And therefore, thank you. And in many ways, when I look at East Africa, and I do travel a lot, Rwanda is a second home for us as KCB as a group. It remains the second largest investment for us. The people of Rwanda and the people of Kenya remain very closely. And I will speak a bit more briefly, to add what the chairman has spoken about. And for us, I was here last time, a few months ago, working very closely with Claire, the bank, at the National Bank of Rwanda, to be able to put the businesses together. We had KCB as a bank, we had BPR, which is Banque Populaire du Rwanda before. And I think this is very historic. When I listen to the history of Banque Populaire du Rwanda, the aspirations, the promises and ambitions which have been made, a number of them have not been fulfilled. And for us to come together and partner and create that opportunity today, in many ways we are seeing today, Right Honorable Prime Minister, the opportunity to scale, to create the promises that had been made, to bring in the regional capabilities that we have as an organization, and more importantly, to learn the aspirations of the people of Rwanda and deliver financial freedom for the challenges that they face. But at the outset, I must thank His Excellency, the President Paul Kagame, for blessing and the celebrations and this milestone today. Claire and myself and our group chairman had met him a few years ago. And it's exciting to see finally the support, and I must thank very much the support you have received at every single part. It's a Rwanda way of how you support business and investment, right from Oziel, the Minister for Finance, John, the governor here, Claire, our governor of the Central Bank in Kenya. We've gotten all the support we needed to be able to continue. And I give you a journey for our business. This year is 14 years since KCB came to Rwanda. And in those short time period, with this partnership and investment, we have grown to become the second largest institutions here in the market, more than 150 units that we have in terms of branches and access sites, and also more than 1,300 staff in the market. But allow me, Honorable Prime Minister, to introduce, I didn't come alone, I'm speaking on behalf of the board and management. Our group chairman is seated with me here, Andrew Cairo, just to stand and wave. We appreciate Andrew Cairo. Andrew came with the board of directors at the group level. We see Dr. Bagaka, who is seated just on the back. Bagaka, you can wave for the members. We've got Engineer Kamau, who is seated just at the group board level, just to appreciate him. Anne Erickson, who is seated just behind with us. And then Ahmed Mohammed, who is sitting at the group board level, to be able to say hi. Thank you. We also have the board of PPR, who are here led by Chairman George. He's spoken earlier. We have a team of senior management who are here as well, led by George Odhiambo and his team. We have a member from the regional team as well, Paul Russo, who is seated in the front. All I will say for me, in terms of summarizing, two aspects I'd like to assure you, Right Honorable Prime Minister. One, the goodwill that we have received from the investors before in these institutions. So one was Atlas Mara and Arise B.V, but also more importantly, the local shareholders that have always had difficulties in building a common value for their investments. And I had Pascal. Brother Pascal is here today representing the local shareholders. Where is Pascal? I'd asked him to come with me, and you can appreciate him. He's somewhere in the back today. And I want to assure you, Honorable Prime Minister, that in our view, we want to build a stronger institution with our local shareholders. You know, we have close to 590,000 of them, accessing their stake in the organizations, working closely with ourselves to strengthen the bank that we have, and making sure that the value they have invested is returned is a commitment we want to assure you, and we have assured every single person who I've worked with in Rwanda that we deliver that commitment. We're engaging with them collectively. Our chairman here, George, is very much involved in that conversations. And all those debates, we're a large investor in the region. We're actually the only bank that has an investment in each and every East African country. And we have various businesses today. So we do know that how we can work very closely with the shareholders. So feel welcome. You know, we believe that this is the bank of our local shareholders. And I want to make sure that every single customer today makes this bank their primary bank in the next 2 to 3 years. If I look at the ambitions for us as a group, we can't thank the support you received from the board for KCB as a bank and also for PPR. The new beginning in many ways is very historic because the coming together of the strength, and KCB Rwanda is quite well known with many significant supports and projects in Rwanda. Many of them, whether it's in manufacturing, some of them are in ICT, some are in the aviation industry, with many of them in infrastructure, just name of agriculture. There are very few sectors I cannot remember the bank has not been involved in. PPR on the other side brings in a very strong heritage and footprint, every single place where we are in the region. So in every part of our country here, we have a PPR. And that's why we said, let's put together this strength of both. And therefore, by growing ourselves, bringing in the services which will have quality products which we'll introduce, that allows our customers to really achieve the ultimate ambitions to continue to grow. And especially for women entrepreneurs, because that's really the area for providing access to resources, to finances, to capabilities, to grow their micro enterprises, and to build the local communities that we speak. Our heritage as a bank is not just to build on profits, but to build an economic empowerment model for our communities, our staff, our businesses, to lift the ambition that the country has. Our network will be strong enough in the region. Today we profile having the largest network in the region. You know, investment in technology, both mobile, agencies, our card payment solutions, and obviously within the region, Rwanda benefits a lot in doing trade, not just within the region, and we will actually be moving slowly soon into the neighboring country, which is the DRC, which is now coming up a member of the ESC. So we see a huge opportunity to be able to articulate and to be able to accelerate trade in the markets. And therefore, effectively, we become the second largest financial institutions in Rwanda today, giving us a stronger edge as KCB to deepen ongoing capabilities for us to really consolidate. Our market is huge. The potential is great. Our demographics are right. I don't think there will be a better moment to see the history and to live in East Africa. So our chance and commitment for you as a bank is also to demonstrate the potential for this bank. For the first time we invested here more than 14 years ago, we continue to see the potential for the bank. And that potential must be converted to true value, both for our customers first, to the economy, and also to our shareholders. And that commitment is what we'll carry to become undisputed in this market, both in terms of access, contribution to Rwanda's very ambitious economic journey for financial inclusion and also for growth. And finally, just to assure, from our point of view as an organization, sustainability remains a core pillar for our growth. We're a long-term investor in our market as a bank. This is what we do. It's what our DNA is. We're not an investor who's coming in to exit the market, and I can assure you, Right Honorable Prime Minister, that we will continue to significantly support the major milestones you have, whether it's on ICT, on a segment, whether it's on housing, on manufacturing, on all these areas you have. Agriculture is a big part of East Africa. The banks don't lend significantly. We worked very closely with your team before, and I want to assure you that in the next 3 to 5 years, our ambition is to double the size of our institutions and the impact. And as we progress in this journey, we will continue working under the leadership of the team here. So the chair and the local board, I must thank them very much. They will continue to be at the forefront of supporting our businesses. We have a strong team. We will train across the region. And that integration will preserve the strongest heritage we have in KCB and also for PPR. So we actually kept the name PPR Bank because we see the convictions and the support that we have from our customers across the country where we operate. I also finally want to thank our staff for during the transition time for the last 7-8 months. Your support and dedications during this transition period has been great. And therefore, I look forward as we build new prosperity, we celebrate and welcome the new BPR Bank PLC in Rwanda today. And thank you. And with those many remarks and introductions, we did come with our Governor, Patrick Njoroge. So allow me, right now, Prime Minister, to invite Dr. Patrick Njoroge to come and make his remarks today. Let's welcome Dr. Patrick Njoroge to come.
Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Rwanda, representatives of the Minister of Finance, fellow Governor, my brother, John Rwagombo, Mr. Andrew Cairo, Board Chair of KCB Group, Mr. Joshua Igara, Group CEO and Managing Director of KCB Group. Thank you for that introduction. George Othiambo, the Managing Director, BPR Bank, Board Members, KCB, BPR Bank, Excellencies, customers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to join you at the launch of BPR Bank Rwanda. I appreciate the invitation and the warm welcome from my brother, Governor John Rwagombo of the National Bank of Rwanda. At the outset, I applaud KCB Group PLC on the completion of the acquisition of the BPR Bank and subsequent combination with KCB Bank Rwanda to form BPR Bank. I'll be excused, I'm sure, if I confused this to a wedding. I'm actually not sure what the briefing that the band got, because this sounded more like a playlist from a wedding, but so be it. So this transaction is a significant milestone as we integrate the East African community and more broadly rolling out the African Continental Free Trade Area. I'm pleased to note that just last month, the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, signed the EAC Treaty of Accession, clearing the way for the imminent admission to the EAC as the 7th member. This will expand the EAC's market size to a population of about 300 million people, with increased opportunities for trade and investment. From ocean to ocean, savanna grasslands to the lush green tropical rainforests, and a mountain of expectations. The founders of the EAC envisaged a vision of an economic bloc greater than the respective partner states that would contribute to the shared prosperity of the citizens. This would be through facilitation of trade and investments seamlessly across the region. Over the last 7 years, I have had the honor and privilege of working closely with my fellow governors of the EAC region as a member of the Monetary Affairs Committee, and over the last year as its chair. The focus of these discussions have been directing and supporting the needed institutional reforms towards the region's monetary union and economic integration. I'm pleased to note that the milestone we witnessed today is a fruit of these steady efforts. I'm very grateful to my fellow EAC governors, and in particular, Governor John Luagombo. The banking sector in the EAC has set the pace for integration by creating regional platforms to conduct business, including now in the DRC. Today's launch is part of a banking sector expansion that we continue to see across the region. Cross-border banking operations are facilitated individuals, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, and corporates transacting across the region. Moreover, we have seen the cross-pollination of innovations and technologies across the region, including digital financial services and agency banking. This has led to the EAC being a leading beacon in financial inclusion across the continent, with on average over 50% of the EAC citizens having access to financial services. So moving ahead, much more remains to be done to achieve the vision of the founders of the EAC. As a central bank in the EAC, our vision is for a banking sector that works for and with East Africans. To achieve this vision, allow me to highlight three broad directions. First, as Mark, we are focused on the convergence of the supervisory and regulatory frameworks across the EAC. We are reviewing our frameworks with regard to licensing and ongoing supervision of banks, identifying areas of divergence and charting a path towards convergence. This will facilitate the operations of banks across the region by reducing the cost of compliance. Further, this will mitigate the risk of regulatory arbitrage, strengthening the stability of the regional banking sector. Secondly, given the regional reach of our banks, the EAC central banks have strengthened supervisory coordination and information gathering. We have gone further to institutionalize this arrangement through convening of periodic supervisory colleges. These colleges bring together the EAC central banks to jointly discuss the risks facing the regional banks and how they are being mitigated. This is complemented by joint discussions between the central banks and the banking groups to review and better understand their business models and strategy, risk management, and governance frameworks. Thirdly, a challenge to our EAC banking sector to commit more to the integration agenda. A lot more needs to be done to meet financing needs across the region on, among others, infrastructure, SMEs, and the emerging area of transitioning, that is greening, our economies to being low carbon and climate resilient. Our banks will need to mobilize additional capital and liquidity resources to meet these needs and accelerate our vision of shared prosperity for EAC citizens. As I draw to a close, our vision as CBK is for a banking sector that works for and with all Kenyans. The vision is anchored on the Kenya Banking Sector Charter issued in February of 2019 with 4 pillars: customer centricity, risk-based credit pricing, transparency, and doing the right thing, that is ethical banking. We expect that our banks will embed these values, including in their operations outside Kenya. Nonetheless, we remain cognizant that while banking groups may have a regional footprint, they must act locally in the respective markets they operate in. I'm therefore pleased to note that BPR will retain its long-standing Rwandese heritage while benefiting from the wide reach, financial, and human resources and know-how that KCB Group brings to the table. BPR's core constituency remains the Rwandese market, and the products and services to be offered should be suitably customized. But ultimately, the greatest asset that a bank has is its staff. Most of them unsung heroes in backrooms and branches, dedicating themselves with professionalism, integrity, and dealing with each customer as if this was the only customer in the world. But transformation is not a single iconic moment, but a marathon. And the greatest marathon of all time, Eliud Kipchoge, tells us, I don't run with my legs. I run with my heart and mind. Once again, I congratulate KCB Group and each of you on the launch of BPR Bank Rwanda. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya, Dr. Patrick Njoroge. Thank you for your kind words, and I think many of us know that you're here also in your capacity representing the government of Kenya. Government of Kenya has shares in KCB, so we're really honored to have you with us. A warm welcome to you once again. We are coming to the second part of the program, and I would like to hand over to my colleague Sandrine.
Barakoze cyane abamaze kutugezaho amajambo meza cyane kandi yaturemyemo n'ikindi cyizere kurushaho bakomeje kubikomozaho yuko umurage wa BPR amateka ya BPR azakomeza kandi banayashingiyeho hari ikintu cyiza cyane ahantu hose mu gihugu hari ishami rya BPR ariko nanone iterambere udushya KCB Bank izazanamo ibyo ngibyo bizatuma abakiriya b'ibanki nshya BPR Bank Rwanda bazagera kuri byinshi ndetse no kuri rya terambere rirambye duharanira. Mu nyemerere rero bigeze kubikomozaho ku muco basanze mu Rwanda, ubwo turavuga abavandimwe bo muri Kenya, umuco kwakira neza abaje gushora imari, abaje gukora business, ariko si umuco wonyine tugira, kwakira abashyitsi ni ibintu byacu, ni umuco uturanga. Mu nyemerere twakire itorero Inganzo Ngari badufashe kwishimira uyu munsi no kwakira amajambo bamaze kutugezaho.
Thank you very much, Sandrine. A warm welcome to Inganzo Ngari, ladies and gentlemen. For our Kenyan brothers and sisters here, it is just to give you a bit, a glimpse of Rwandan culture and dance. Let's give them a warm round of applause.
Come on. Rwanda rwatubyaye inkingi twegamyeho ishema ryawe nirihinyuka i Rwanda rw'intwaro ubaye ubukombe
Iye bagore beza nahamwe
ese bagore beza
Aye iye bagore bwana, habari gani? Mzuri sana.
Wageni wakaribishwa Kenya yetu, hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Mzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Kenya yetu, hakuna matata.
Kenya nchi nzuri,
Hakuna matata.
nchi ya amani,
Hakuna matata.
nchi ya upendo.
Hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Mzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Kenya yetu, hakuna matata.
Rwanda nchi nzuri,
Hakuna matata.
oh Rwanda tuna umoja,
Hakuna matata.
tena tuna upendo.
Hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Mzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Kenya yetu, hakuna matata. Jambo
Thank you very much to Ingan Songari. That was simply fantastic. Earlier on, Dr. Njoroge said this is sort of a marriage, and it really looked like one, with a combination of, I believe that was Kenyan Maasai dance and our local dance, and it just shows the collaboration between both countries, both governments, both members of both private sectors between both countries and investors. So really exciting and really looking forward to, as we've heard from our esteemed guests, the financial services and products that are going to be offered on a wider scale to customers and operations for the institution in Rwanda and beyond. I have the distinct pleasure to welcome on stage Governor of the Central Bank of Rwanda. If we could have him on stage, Mr. John Rwangomga. Welcome.
Right Honorable Prime Minister, our guest of honor this morning, Honourable Ministers present, CEO Rwanda Development Board, my brother, Dr. Patrick Njoroge, Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya, Group Chairman, CEO, and the entire team from KCB Group, the Chairman, the CEO, and the entire team from BPR Bank Rwanda, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a pleasure to be here this morning at this official launch of BPR Bank Rwanda, now the second largest bank in our country since its merger with the KCB Rwanda. We have the honor to be with you, Right Honourable Prime Minister, who is our guest of honor representing His Excellency the President of the Republic of Rwanda. Allow me to take this opportunity to thank you, Right Honourable Prime Minister, for granting us the honor to officiate this event. And in a special way, through you, thank His Excellency the President, whom you are representing here. Your presence here, Right Honourable Prime Minister, is an indication of the support and value the leadership of this country has for the development of our financial sector. In a special way, again, I want to thank my colleague, brother and friend, Dr. Patrick Njoroge, Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya, for being with us this morning. As a parent regulator of 4 out of our 10 commercial banks, our partnership with you matters a lot to us. With that said, I have to greatly appreciate the strong partnership we have with you, the Governor, and the entire CBK team, both at bilateral level and at the EAC level, as you rightly said in your remarks. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate the management of KCB Group that has successfully concluded the merger of the 2 banks, BPR and KCB Rwanda, in one of the mergers that was carried out smoothly and the shortest time possible. Congratulations for that achievement. As you bring together the 2 banks, we appreciate the strong muscle of capital base that you are creating in our sector, an asset that will continue supporting projects that are key to the growth of our economy. We also appreciate the experience you come with, especially technology, as we look into speeding up the country's financial inclusion agenda. As we all remember, KCB joined the Rwandan financial sector as a greenfield investment just about a decade ago, and has gone on to grow and become the 6th bank out of 16 banks in our country at the time of the merger. This is evident that a lot can be achieved with the zeal and penetration of the market you have as a bank. As I have told the KCB Group management, we greatly appreciate the strategic decision taken by the bank to maintain the BPR brand for the new bank. This means a lot to your customers across the country that are used to BPR as Bank Here True, Half Here True, our bank near us. I think this group CEO and the chair said a lot about what they intend to do with the new entity, and we greatly appreciate the plans you have for this financial sector. We, as the regulator, we can only assure you to continue being a key partner and a key enabler in the growth of this financial sector. We continue investing in our staff, in our regulations, and we aim to be at international standards in terms of our regulatory framework. And in an effort to play our part in the development of the financial sector, in March last year, NBR created a department in charge of financial sector development. This department will champion our efforts to develop the financial sector and regularly engage financial institutions and other policymakers to address any friction that would hamper the development of the financial sector. This department will particularly focus on financial inclusion, including youth, women, and SMEs, financial education, financial innovation, including supporting fintech development in our country, skills development in the financial sector, and sustainable finance. Now, when I look at the financial sector specifically, I'm happy to inform you, Right Honourable Prime Minister and other guests present, that over the past 10 years, the financial sector has registered significant growth, with its assets expanding at an average of 17.3% per year, from 1.8 trillion, representing 37% of GDP in 2011, to 7.5 trillion francs representing 68.8% of GDP in 2021. In particular, the banking sector, which is the biggest sector or subsector of our financial sector, with around 68% of the share, expanded by around 16.7% annually, with assets growing from 1.2 trillion representing 26.2% of GDP in 2011 to 5 trillion, representing 46.3% of GDP in 2021. As you can see, the banking sector, the financial sector in general, has grown more than six-fold over the last 10 years. The growth of the financial sector has been mainly driven by the growth of deposits and equity in line with stable macroeconomic conditions and entry of new players. And I think to note that is key is that most of these assets that we mentioned of the banking sector are in credit. And this is the main channel the banking sector supports the economic growth of our country. What you see, this significant growth of the financial sector has been driven by the good growth of our economy, but has also been contributing greatly to the growth of our economy. So the banking sector and the financial sector in general remains a key player in our long-term sustainable economic development. The other thing to note is that the financial sector has become increasingly inclusive, as revealed by the FinScope survey of 2020. The findings of this survey indicated that the percentage of financially included adults population in Rwanda had increased to 93% in 2020 from 48% in 2008. And the proportion of the banked adult population increased to 36% in 2020 from 14% in 2008 on the account of increased access to digital financial services. NBR believes that more can be done beyond the stability and what we've already achieved, because the numbers still show that we still have a big potential to grow. As you may know, the overarching objectives of Rwanda's financial sector development program has been to develop a stable and sound financial sector that is sufficiently deep and broad, capable of efficiently mobilizing and allocating resources to address the development needs of the economy and help towards growing a poverty-free country. We're looking forward to the new bank, BPR Rwanda, to play a key role in this development agenda of our country. As I conclude, I want to once again congratulate BPR Rwanda for a successful merger and commit to you our role as the regulator. And as I said, we are not just a regulator, but enabler of the financial sector development. And you count on us. We'll be there to support you. We'll be there to challenge you. But at the end of the day, we are all working together towards a better Rwanda. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rwangonga. And now I would like to invite Right Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Edwin Girene to come and share with us his remarks as a guest of honor. Please, let's give him a warm welcome.
Mudufashe twakire ijambo ry'umushyitsi mukuru. Ikaze nyakubahwa Minisitiri w'Intebe.
Senior government officials here present, distinguished guests and partners, good morning and welcome. Today, as we gather here to launch the merger of the Banque Populaire du Rwanda, BPR, and the Kenya Commercial Bank, KCB Rwanda, to become the BPR Bank Rwanda, I'm pleased to join you representing His Excellency President Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda. Before I talk about this launch itself, I would like to commend and highlight the key role played by the banking sector in our growth and financial inclusion. The banking sector is crucial to the growth of Rwanda's economy. It is the primary supplier of credit to individuals and firms, as well as the protection of depositors' assets. In 2021, the financial sector, which grew by 18%, contributed significantly to the 10.9% growth of Rwanda's economy. Distinguished guests, in addition to the role of banking sector in our growth, we cannot forget its role in financial inclusion. For example, more than 36% of adults in Rwanda, equivalent to 2.6 million people in Rwanda, are using banking services. This represents a growth of 1.1 million since 2016. We also know that in total, 93% of adults in Rwanda are financially included with both formal and informal financial products. High uptake and usage of banking products has led to formal financial inclusion. The growth in the banking products or services was driven by both savings account and also transactional products, including credit facilities, products such as credit and overdraft. Distinguished guests, during this COVID pandemic period, we cannot talk about the role of the banking sector without mentioning its role in the economic recovery. As a part of Rwanda's recovery effort from COVID-19, the government of Rwanda established the Economic Recovery Fund to support the recovery process of businesses hit by COVID-19. In this regard, through the central bank, the government provided funds to banks and microfinance institutions. These funds supported in loan restructuring and recapitalization of businesses whose failure would negatively impact the resilience of the banking sector. The government commends the flexibility of commercial banks in restructuring loans for clients as a part of measures to help them to cope with the adverse effects of the pandemic. Distinguished guests, in addition to all efforts made to support financial sector development during the COVID period, the government of Rwanda put in place a program called Manufacture and Ability to Recover Program. This is a specific program aimed at stimulating economic recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic and scaling up the manufacturing sector. This program was established after realizing that lowering business costs is required to attract more investment in the economy, specifically in the manufacturing and construction sector with its spillover effect. As of today, 94 projects have applied for the program. Among these, 79 have been approved. The government of Rwanda expects the banking sector actors to continue to support this program through the provision of necessary credits to the approved project or businesses. You are our key partner in this journey. Distinguished guests, another sector contributing to our economy that we want our banking sector to actively support is the agriculture sector. The government of Rwanda has been investing very heavily in de-risking agriculture sector, and in this regard, it has put in place significant irrigation projects. Further, it is providing subsidies to agriculture input such as fertilizers, seed, artificial insemination, and other support to make agriculture profitable. The government of Rwanda is confident of the partnership with banks and the financial sector in general to play an important role in addressing the issue of low lending to agriculture sector. Distinguished guests and partners, let me now come back to the role of KCB has played in our development journey. In all this journey of banking sector development, I would like to commend the Kenya Commercial Bank, KCB Group, for continued investment of resources in Rwanda. KCB Group has been in Rwanda, as was mentioned by my other speakers, since December 2008. However, it has been in existence for over 100 years with a philosophy of serving local communities and facilitating their prosperity. We commend the bank's corporate social responsibility and sustainability initiatives that have enabled the young Rwandans to access technical and vocational skills in partnership with the Ministry of Youth. 450 youth have been trained under the KCB Igire program to date, which we expected to continue under the new BPR Bank, driving the agenda for the community empowerment. Banque Populaire, BPR, is also a historic bank in Rwanda that started operation in 1975, and it carries a similar legacy of community bank that created financial inclusion across various age groups in Rwanda. So these two organizations have the right synergies to come together and succeed, especially in this market where there is a need to provide various financial products and services to our population to foster not only economic development, but also improve quality of life for the population. A branch network of 154 and a customer base of almost 428,000 people is a considerable number for the new combined bank BPR Rwanda, which put you at the second largest bank in the country. These statistics should motivate the bank, the new bank, to go a step further and find digital financial solutions for the public to ease their businesses and provide low-cost credits that will enable the kind of growth required for the country's economic ambitions. Thank you to KCB Group once again for your continued investment of resources in Rwanda, and we look forward to further growth of BPR Bank Rwanda in the financial sector and the economy as a whole. As I conclude, I would like to emphasize that the government of Rwanda will continue to create an enabling environment for the financial sector in Rwanda and ensure that the majority of the unbanked Rwandan population have access to the banking services at affordable cost. With these few remarks, it is now my pleasure to declare the BPR Bank Rwanda officially launched. I thank you for your kind attention.
Murakoze cyane nyakubahwa Minisitiri w'Intebe, ndagira ngo mbasabe mube mwihanganye gato mudufashe mu gikorwa kigiye gukurikira. Bakomeje bavuga ngo n'ubukwe n'umugeni, reka dusohore umugeni cyane ko mumaze kumutanga. Ubwo rero mu kanya gato cyane reka mudufashe mu gikorwa gikurikira.
Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister. We are about to witness a new look of BPR Bank Rwanda, and I would like to call forward to also help unveil this new look. Accompanying the Prime Minister, the KCB Group Board Chairman, Andrew Kairu.
Imiryango yombi rero wa mugeni twavugaga tugiye kumubona, reka nsabe nabiteguye abakobwa biteguye batambuke vuba vuba badufashe mu gikorwa kigiye gukurikira kugira ngo turebe uwo mugeni. Ngira ngo abani nk'aba fiye doneri basohoka mbere yuko umugeni asohoka.
A union of two institutions, and we are about to have a look as to how this institution, the newly formed, newly merged BPR Bank Rwanda,
babiri bagiye kuba umwe, ababiri babaye umwe, imiryango ibiri ikomeye igiye kuba umuryango umwe. Mudufashe inyuma kugira ngo mutuyobore mu gikorwa cyo kubona uyu mugeni. Inyuma ku buhanga bw'ibyuma twatangiye 5 4
3 2 1.
Nyakubahwa Minisitiri w'Intebe, mutwereke uwo mugeni uko asa. Amashyi menshi cyane, amashyi menshi cyane. Imiryango ibiri ibaye umuryango umwe. Amateka aranditswe muri iki gitondo. Ngiri ivuka rya BPR Bank. Amashyi menshi cyane, twishimire iki gikorwa, ni nacyo cyaduteranirije hano.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the new logo, the new look of BPR Bank Rwanda. Exciting times ahead for this institution, for customers and operations alike in Rwanda and beyond. I would like to invite the following dignitaries to also go on stage and join the Right Honorable Prime Minister as well as the KCB Group Board Chairman. The front row, if you could please all head to the stage.
Abashyitsi bahire turi kumwe mwatambuka imbere kugira ngo habeho ifoto y'urwibutso y'uyu munsi udasanzwe mu mateka ya bank mu Rwanda. Ifoto yo kwizihiza no kuzajya tureba uyu munsi udasanzwe.
Cameramen, camera people, I would also suggest if the guests can remove their masks just for this photo opportunity.
Numunsi udasanzwe, numunsi w'ibyishimo aho tubonye ivuka rya BPR Bank. Nibikiri KCB Bank na Banque Populaire, ahubwo ni BPR Bank. Umunsi udasanzwe, mwakoze cyane, mwakwisubirira mu myanya yanyu ndetse mukadufasha no guherekeza umushyitsi mukuru. Mwakoze cyane nyakubahwa Minisitiri w'Intebe.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all our esteemed guests who are here with us today. To our guest of honor for gracing us with your presence today at the official launch of BPR Bank Rwanda Plc.
Mwakoze cyane mwese ababanye natwe muri uyu munsi udasanzwe, banyakubahwa muteraniye hano, banyacyubahiro mwese muri hano, bashyitsi bahire. Igikorwa cya mbere kirarangiye, ariko nanone murabizi ko mu bukwe habaho no gusabana no kwishima na reception. Tugiye muri reception y'ubu bukwe rero, aho tugiye gukomeza gusabana, gukomeza kuganira, gukomeza kwishimira ivuka rya BPR Bank. No kuvuga ngo ntimutahe, biracyakomeje, ibyiza biracyahari.
As my colleague Sandrine said, please, I would like to invite you to have lunch here in this room. We are going to have lunch shortly, and for the rest of us, some of us will be headed to a press conference with some of our esteemed guests and the media houses. It's been an honor hosting the official launch of BPR Bank Rwanda, and I look forward, as I'm sure many of you do, to the operations and the services and expedient efficiency that this new bank, BPR Bank Rwanda PLC, is going to offer to Rwandan customers. Thank you very much. It's been an honor to be with you here this morning. Thank you.
Dukomeze dusabane, reka na Lauren adufashe mu kwishimira uyu mugeni tumaze kubona. Hanyuma rero reka nanababwire nti muryoherwe, mukomeze mugire umunsi mwiza, naho mukanya. Lauren. arakoze cyane Lauren nuko turangiye abahuza ariko rwose ndizera yuko mwanezerewe hagati aho rero abanyamakuru mwajya muri MH1 ahagiye kubera ikiganiro abanyamakuru mwajya muri iki cyumba twegeranye muri MH1 ahagiye kubera ikiganiro n'abanyamakuru barabategereje rwose kugira ngo dutangire abandi nabo bon appétit muryoherwe abanyamakuru muri MH1 tugatangira ikiganiro n'abanyamakuru hanyuma rero Neptune's Band umwanya no